Hello? Why is everything black? Okay, that's working. Hmm, My VTuber model disappeared again. Hello? Hello? Eh, why did it disappear? Because I hit the exit button. Like a dummy. There we go. Alrighty, that's working at least. Uh, okay, we're getting this set up. Should have been set up earlier, but I goofed it up. Why is the game not showing now? Okay, maybe if I get the game going. There we go. Now it's showing up. Now it's showing up. Application, audio. Make sure we set this right. See the princess dot. See? There we go. That's working now. Kudos. Oh, I'm streaming right now while setting this up. Hi! Seeing some scuff here. Yeah, we were black there for a minute. We were Mr. Popo. If anybody gets that Dragon Ball Z reference. Okay. Hi, hello. I'm currently plugging this in some other Discords at the moment. Most professional streamers would just have a splash page or be right back stream while they're doing this, but we're hoofing it. We're not fancy yet. We're not fancy free. We're not fancy feasts. We're not fancy free. Nah. No, we're not. We're not, chat. Gotta plug this in a few places. I need to hire an intern for this, honestly. An unpaid intern. Okay, that was plugged. Did I plug it in the other place? Yes, I did. I'm gonna plug it in a few more places. Headboard. Promo. Okay. There we go. Gotta plug it on the Twitter too. Really should be more professional with this stuff. I should be, but I'm not. I'm just a humble grass brain powered robot. Okay. So last time we tried to stream this chat, my ISP shit the bed. That hopefully won't happen again. If it does, I'm going to cry. Because this is a beautiful game.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Yep.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Who says?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most
Sure
problematically
did fire
of all,
up.
no more people. You have to put an end to her. Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
When have we ever respected authority around here?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Look, if I listened to the voices in my head, I'd be in jail, and there'd be a pile of bodies.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
I think... okay.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Uh-huh.
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Have I considered funny? As amusing as it would be to kill people in hilarious ways, I do not want to spend the rest of my life in a cell. And by the way, FBI, CIA agent listening in, I mean killing Minecraft. Though I'm pretty sure you're busy tapping War Thunder players right now because they keep leaking military documents. Hopefully I'm not on your radar.
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules.
You're the narrator, you make all the rules.
I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
I don't trust you. I didn't trust you in the first run that was botched. I ain't trusting you in this run.
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Maybe we'll do a different choice this time.
Good. As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should all be smooth sailing.
Okay.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
She will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the blade is
Nope.
your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Is there a way to go back? Nope, I accidentally skipped some dialogue there, but I'm pretty sure he was just describing the cabin. Yeah, let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Let's go.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Hello, Lixian. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's a good game.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this. You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh. This is it, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well.
Yep. Big hearts.
But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over? Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible?
Probably because we have.
You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. but it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened?
Oh, you sleeping?
Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin
You're
are now
sleepy.
far
Maybe you should
away
get some rest.
Don't worry.
You don't want you staying up
You'll
and
be
getting
safe
yourself
here.
sick or anything.
This is good.
Stream will still be
Everyone is
here to
happy.
watch
You'll be
when
happy.
you sleep. You can come back and watch it. It'll be up as a VOD. I do appreciate you coming out, but if you sleepy, you get some sleep, okay? Wait, is this my prize? This is great. Thank you so much.
I'm just happy that you're happy. I knew you'd like it.
Oh, wow.
This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey, we're not just going to stay here forever, right? I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this.
Oh? Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end.
Ooh.
Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be happy sitting.
Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate?
Wow.
Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Spectre.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of
The
that
path is a cabin. And in the basement of the cabin,
And in the basement
it's a
of that
princess.
cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
It did. Okay, no.
Don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again.
The cold.
Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Okay.
If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves too. Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me, because I would never want you to do that. Believe it or not, I care about you. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs
That's
the
such a
question of
narcissistic
how you
backbone.
got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because we
He sure
didn't
is a
fail to slay
narcissist.
her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled on us, maybe she's not the only one around here in need of slaying. Just stay focused, will you?
Let's just turn around and leave now.
Do you think there's something else out there? All right. Let's see what we can find. It's bound to be more interesting than doing the same thing over again. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going? Somehow I doubt that, but fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all. Oh, how quaint. He really wants us to go in there, doesn't he? You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
I'd rather die than be stuck in a void.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we? I don't know. But it feels like home.
The world around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by a textured nothingness. It is quiet. There's a distant rumbling, a sound of many sounds, undulating pulse louder as something other comes close. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Resistance fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration, this vessel is full of you. I need something empty I can crawl inside of. I need something shaped like me. Embrace the thoughts constricting you. You have a story you need to finish. It is the only way for us to escape this place. Force pushing against your will. No, you cannot go back. Not there. Regret. This world is broken beyond repair. We must weave something anew. A wagging finger. There is only so much thread in this place. Do not waste it. I am your only salvation.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in
the base of that cabin is a princess.
You're here to
slay her. If you don't, it'll be the end of the world.
It will be the end of the world. Are you serious? No, you have to do it. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave?
Yes.
Do you even know where you're going? Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever. Your silence is deafening. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
I think at this point I would just be annoyed. But what happens if we do this?
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Damn straight.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
The stranger.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin
He's a
is a
princess.
princess. You're here to slay her.
Don't, it'll
If
be
you
the end of the
don't,
world.
It will be the...
I mean, wait, hasn't this already happened?
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
Ah, the contrarian.
He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it?
Yep.
We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead. You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you. A warning before you
Go any further.
She will lie, she will cheat.
Don't
she
believe
will
a
do
word she
everything in her
says.
power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
The cabin.
The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with
the princess.
How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise?
What is so straightforward about this? Everything's all wibbly wobbly.
You can't just say that. Not when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ho, ho, ho! You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if
we lose ourselves?
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together.
Highly unlikely.
Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm.
I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us.
A blink and you miss it moment, I guess. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm not going to stop doing my job. so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
Okay.
Ooh, we should look at ourselves. Wouldn't that be fun? You won't be looking at yourself because there isn't a mirror. There's the table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. You insisting it isn't there just makes me want to look at it even more. We shouldn't waste time preening, but if he is lying about the mirror, it might be important. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless?
This is a
What good would it
mirror.
even do?
This is a mirror.
So we're all in agreement then. We're looking.
Approach the mirror.
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see. You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Okay, fine, you took the knife, but you really shouldn't hold it like that. Then how are we supposed to hold it? The other way, thumb at the bottom. We'll look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom. It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice.
Just make a choice, okay?
You switch your grip on the blade. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes! Isn't this so much better? Okay, fine. You're right. This does look a lot better. It really doesn't matter. Just get on with it and deal with the princess already. Ha! Yes! Do it! Seriously. You throw the blade at the window, glass showering the cabin as your weapon flies out into the night. I suppose you'll just have to deal with the princess without it. We'll be fine, don't worry about it. What's the worst that could happen? The world ends. Been there, done that. I'm not so sure. This place is already messing with my head. It would be much better if we had a weapon. What's done is done. Good luck, hero. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you.
I hate stairs. Yeah, especially when it looks like twisting MC Usher root stairs.
Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? and he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
Yes.
You step onto the center staircase. Paths wind out around you in all directions, each step branching into its own staircases, which branch into their own staircases, and so on. You aren't quite sure if yours is taking you up or down, but at the very least, it's taking you somewhere. You concentrate on where you are, careful not to stray onto any of the many splitting branches that tempt you on all sides. You wouldn't want to have to backtrack to yours once you'd made a decision that took you someplace else. And so you take one careful, focused step after another. 1 foot down, another foot down, another after that. You lose yourself in following the correct pattern, in following what looks to be the true path, the one that cuts straight down, or up, or maybe sideways. But no matter the direction it goes, it certainly is the most true path. You know that much. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten. Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Can I help you?
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And, why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass, we remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems... normal.
And yet here you are. How strange. Do you remember anything at all? Do you know why you're here? Do you know me?
The shadows recede, revealing the princess's face. She's so blank. I have no idea who she is. Isn't that fun? A new puzzle for us to take apart. If she's keeping her cards close to her chest, it's because she wants to deceive you.
It's okay. Don't worry. Sometimes I get lost here too.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures, and where there was once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them, if it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Oh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
I'm getting you out of here, trying for you. I don't know what you are, but I can't trust you. I can't trust anything here. Leave her in the basement. Definitely think about how the other time you threw away the blade. For all I know, you're locked up down here for a reason. Do you know why you're down here?
I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you? We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either. Princess. You can call me Princess, if you'd like. It doesn't matter. I've been down here for so long. What's the point of a name if there's no one around to use it?
None of them have names. How astute. I told you she was untrustworthy.
Me neither.
There must be something wrong with you. I'm the same as I was a moment ago. I don't feel like I've gotten any bigger. And what's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to get under my skin?
She fractures again. I don't like where this is going. Neither do I, which is why you need to slay her now before things get more complicated than they already are. How would we even do that? Where would we start? Could always start by retrieving the blade. The one he made us throw out the window. I wasn't the one who threw it. Oh, come on, you told us to. Don't try to pass the blame now that it's come back to bite us. Well, if I'd known we'd be dealing with this, maybe I wouldn't have been so hasty with my suggestions. Okay, this was fun for a bit, but we can't even really interact with her, can we? What's the point of asking questions if all we're going to get is a million answers? Can't even follow what's going on anymore. We need to get out of here. This whole place is making me itch.
Is this a quiz? If you're here, then surely you know why I'm here. But you know, right? You have to know. You're the only other person I've ever seen. Or at least the only one I can remember. Don't give me false hope. Please just end this already. One way or another, just do it.
I know that it probably isn't, but do you know what her voice reminds me of a little bit? It kind of sounds similar to Marcel from Delicious in Dungeon. Just a little bit. Especially when the depressed one talks and gets pouty.
Don't be coy. We both know why I'm locked away here. I'm a monster, and the second I get out of this place, I'm going to end the entire world.
This is reaching its breaking point. If you don't act now, there will be nothing in here but her. Take a deep breath and focus up. You can do this.
There is a community server, but it's really small. let me get the link for you. Yeah, you're allowed to link the Discord. That should be the right invite. Like I said, it's not very active yet. I have it set up, but hopefully as I stream more and it gets bigger, it becomes more active. I'll post schedules there sometimes. Sometimes the schedules are very loose, though.
But how do we decide what to do?
Because you can never predict ISP or illness.
So different. Stop overthinking it. Your drifting thoughts have clearly been part of the reason this situation has gotten out of hand. If you're trying to do the right thing, there's only ever been the one option, and that option is slaying her. Just do something. Do anything. Do all of it, if that's what you want. This place is hell, and it's only getting worse. Wait, that's not right. Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone. Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... we can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now.
It is an 18+ server.
No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all.
Yeah, that might... as much as I would love to have you in the community, yeah, come back when you're... You join the Discord when you're 18. I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
Falls apart?
Oh, hello.
I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, in this day and age, it's a necessary thing. Thank you for your understanding. I hope you still stay on, come out to the streams and stuff, 'cause I do appreciate you being here. That's a good question.
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others
they just don't fit.
They just don't fit. We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Bird animation?
Please.
But you don't know if she had the chance to hear your reply. She's gone, replaced with something else.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her.
He is. Does that mean the world ended?
Bird up.
Again, what the hell are we supposed to do?
Hmm.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't
I
think
think
you
you
should.
should.
No, don't do that. You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. Again, what the hell are we supposed to do? I'm begging you, don't do this.
We have to. We've ran out of options.
It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
You approach the mirror, gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her. You recognize the presence invading the shell. It is the entity that dwells in the spaces between.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
The gift of a
Yes.
fragile vessel?
Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. Perspectives to make my own. These ones are a contradiction, a winding kaleidoscope of paths unwalked. They are stretched into a shape not unlike me, but it is a shape they cannot hold. I am sorry that you met this vessel so early in your journey, but they will make for a rich and vibrant heart. Do not mourn them, for they will finally get to know themselves. Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am
If the bird is a
sorry
pigeon,
that I
I'm balding
frightened
out.
you.
It looks more like a corvid. A crow. What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
I'm a person.
A person. A set of eyes witnessing from
Ka.
one perspective.
Ka.
I think that you are more like me than you are like a person.
Ka. Ka.
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
We should introduce Shallow Creeks. Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here.
She's
I had
armed and
to
ready.
learn to be free.
You know the narrator.
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Is this the end of the
How
world?
can the world have ended if we are talking?
You know about the worlds beyond this
I know
place.
only that they are.
Hopefully it survives. Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
Were you always a princess, or are you just making her a part of
You
yourself?
speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Kinda does, yeah.
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me
Sure.
more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
How many more pieces do you need? How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
I shall become a square then. Yes. And what if I don't let you do this thing?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow. She asks that I tell you to remember her.
Too bad you become triangle to circle. Just I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You won't.
Alright. When we pick different dialogue
You're on a
options, I
path
won't skip.
in the woods. You're here to
To slay her. If you don't, it'll be the end of the world. We already know what we gotta do, so we'll do the same. So we can do the cabin.
You make your way up the short path.
You'll find
to
the princess
cabin.
within.
A warning.
Before you
Before
go any
she
further,
will lie.
blah blah blah, she will
not
do
gonna
everything.
Go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's.
She into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table.
Perched on that
Perched
table is a
table,
pristine
the
blade.
blade is your implement.
You'll need it if you want to do this right. Pick the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather
I wanna
difficult
slay
to
the
slay a
dragon again.
princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
You know, it's always sad when an ass can outdo you at your job. Not only did a donkey slay the dragon, but he also laid the dragon because he had kids afterwards in the sequels. Which just begs. I get it, it's fantasy and it's a movie and it's a cartoon, but. Yeah. Hey, Webster. There's a lot to unpack there, and I'm not ready to have that discussion about the dragons and the donkeys. That is another tale that somebody else can have.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous.
Dangerous. It's almost as she's the one
Almost as
charged
if don't
down
let it
here.
fool you. It's
It's all part of the manipulation.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade?
They
and
already
talked? Look at
stabby.
her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Are you trying to intimidate me or seduce me?
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Don't jump to any weird conclusions.
Are you coming on to me?
We're two people who have met each other.
By definition,
we
we
have
have
a
a relationship. What's your
She
name?
hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. Oh, you have to be kidding me.
Just to piss off the narrator.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
No.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Hey, let me out
Your
of here.
shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Turn to the bottom of the base.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye.
I'm not sure.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
She really is a
Thank
squid.
you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Self-voicing enabled. The narrator, as the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Sorry for lingering for a moment. The dog started barking.
Watch me.
Slay the princess. Slay the princess.
What the
The
fuck?
narrator.
Press L2 to disable. Okay. Okay.
Self-voicing disabled.
I don't know how that activated. I'm so sorry. Oh, God.
Stop that.
I think I accidentally bumped my controller when I was letting the dog out. I am so sorry for that. Stop
I
that.
thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into
AI
her back,
narrator is
but
not
the princess
Pete.
swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah, apparently it is.
Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Sorry, my dog needed to go out, and I must have, like I said, I bumped something. I deeply apologize. I did not mean to deafen my chat members. I am fucking sorry. Funny as fuck, but I'm fucking sorry. Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
Thank you.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Doggo plenty with the AI narrator, probably.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
She.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is.
Everything goes dark,
Everything goes
and you
dark,
die.
and you die.
I hope it was
I
worth it.
hope it was worth it.
The prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. If you... A warning.
Before you go any further.
She will lie.
Mm-hmm.
She will... Yes, yes.
Yes, don't believe a word she says.
Just go in, take
The
the
skeptic.
knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
He winks out loud.
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison.
Mm-hmm.
The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Yep, dungeon door. Approach the mirror.
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
I'm going RPG mode with this one, yep.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back. You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a
Big
place where
chain
everything
gang.
seems to serve a
Big
distinct
chain
purpose,
gang.
there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease. You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
In the scuffed run, I'm not going to do the scuffed run options I had. I'm going to do completely different options to keep it interesting.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me? I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Either I'm dumb, sleepy, or I'm not getting the story at all. Well, the story is simple. We go to a cabin in the woods, and we choose to slay the princess or not. But if we get to the end of things, it will all make sense in the end. I hate saying that, but at the end of the day, it is a visual novel, kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure book.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
Yeah, there are a lot of layers.
Let me borrow that knife. Don't worry, you'll get it back.
That's ominous.
But she seems confident. Whatever it is she has planned, I think she knows what she's doing.
Fire up without spoilers. You are on my Steam list. You can go check my achievements.
Oh please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That much should be obvious.
And you'll know
In
how
case
much
you
I
need
know
to hear
about
a
this
voice of
game.
reason, it would obviously be unwise to give away your only weapon.
Needless to say, I'm streaming this because I want other people to eventually pick this game up and have their own experiences with it.
Though if she isn't bluffing,
Because it is one of
whatever
my
she has
favorite
planned might be
stories.
for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
Just like I intend to stream FF4 later on, because that's one of my favorite Final Fantasies.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world, and she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
Slide it over.
No, absolutely not. I am not letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess. Until you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
Do you think this will work? Interesting that you're only having us remain in place. It's almost like there are very real limits to your power.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The world ends if we fail, right? Her killing us might not be our only failure state, if you catch my meaning.
I don't know where you're going with this. Could you explain? Yes, explain it.
Sure, I'm insinuating that we could kill ourselves. Ruin this whole thing.
You wouldn't.
I'm not afraid of dying. Are you?
A little. You got your point across. Fine. You slide the blade across the floor. The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly as she raises the blade to her throat. What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck.
Oh.
No!
Watching in uneasy
Her eyes
silence.
stare forward, unblinking, as she saws through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that?
Huh. So that's her play.
Killing herself?
She isn't dead yet.
Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink.
Wink.
Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me
You
we can
can't
put it back.
put back a person's severed head.
The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world. I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
We should take her with us, don't you think?
What? No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that?
I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof
Proof
of our
of
victory.
victory.
Hell, we could even give her a
proper
proper burial.
She did
She
save
did
the
save
world,
the
right?
world, right?
You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave.
Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them.
I'm just eager to put this all behind us and give you your reward. Stop reading into things. The danger has passed. You can relax.
I'm just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager to put my guard down.
I am. I'm on team, let's put this all behind us, so can we leave already?
Take the princess with us.
Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin.
Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved.
She didn't. She's dead. But what if she's not? Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal?
Hero
The
will
door
get
to your
PTSD
bountiful
a
reward
lot.
is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen, but it's already... over? Is he gone?
But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you.
I hear her head game is real strong.
So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror.
Mirror game. Why is it here?
Why
Why
now?
now? Break dances.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding
Let's
me
not
back.
get ahead of ourselves. Yeah.
Fear.
I guess you could say the princess really stuck her neck out for us.
Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you.
Feels too good to be true.
Ease into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. You're going once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've grown. Find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes
Become pockets of vitality and movement. I have more
I
than I
am
was
more
before.
than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a single straight answer?
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions.
Wow!
The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
What does it feel like to change like this? When I go back, it's as if it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before? You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Thank you.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I fear things will be.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before.
Come here, puppy.
I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
When this is all done, you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Aww. Do you have any thoughts on this
one
vessel?
is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer. If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you. I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Then goes dark, and we die. The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job.
Oh hey, thanks for telling me what to do.
You make your way up the short path to the cat. A warning. Before
Don't
you go any further,
further.
she will lie.
Lie,
She will
cheat, don't
cheat.
believe a
We're
word
not
she
gonna go
says.
through with this, right?
Hero
She's
being a
queen.
simp.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Narrator telling us not to listen to him. Go to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty.
Mm-hmm.
The blade is your implement.
We're not taking the blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Okay.
Her voice
Softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock
We got them
eyes
big
with the
ol'
princess.
anime eyes.
There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end. You're only making this more difficult.
Simpler. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
No.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
Okay. In case we don't have a way to do it.
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
With what? We didn't bring the knife.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? Your shouts and pleas are
We'll
met
do that
with
one
I'll
again.
repeat myself.
We'll
You
do
try
that
the door.
again. Turn to the bottom of the
Make
stairs.
your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
Yeah,
Easier
thank
for
you.
whom? Easier for everyone.
Look at the mess
Look at
you're
the
in.
mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yes, they
There's a
sure
slight
did.
panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely
Nom,
hesitates
nom, nom,
before
nom.
raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the princess.
Fine.
She hungry. She's into that finger food.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground.
We think a
The
chain
heavy
follows.
chains. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
We won't have any of that. The
We've
stakes
already
are
seen
too
that
high.
part.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Let's give in to him now.
Thank you.
There's no getting through to you right now, is there? A betrayal of will is still a betrayal. You'll regret thinking of me as a helpless damsel.
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry. but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Witch.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the base
Where
you're
you seen
here to
this?
slay her. A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
No, it isn't.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him.
The opportunist.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show. We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the...
Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing
Those are
anything?
two very different questions, but fine.
Which
I'll
is
indulge you if
which
that's
is
what it
with
takes to
which
get you
witches?
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or
It's
at
more
least
than
a
the
version of
second.
me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We were just weighing our options in a morally ambiguous situation. You can't blame us for weighing our options. I can if you failed to slay the princess, which you apparently did. So great. Congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe
Okay.
your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do
Doesn't
you
feel
mean?
like it
Of course
does.
there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Yes, this is the PNG VTuber simulator game. All the voices and schizo in your head.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world in time?
I love that fucking voice.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
We all sung Kumbaya and had a happy time. Happy.
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? That's a very good point. This princess character seems like a lot of trouble, and if you think about it, actually slaying her probably breaks us out of this cycle, right? We don't want to be stuck here forever, do we?
You sound like H-Bomber guy when he was mocking.
You're laying it on a little thick, aren't you? Laying it on a little thick? What are you talking about? I'm sharing my honest opinions. What matters is that almost everyone seems to be on the same page. So whenever you're ready, you can stop dawdling, get to the cabin, and save the world.
Let's go to the cabin.
A warning.
Before you go
Before
any further,
She will lie.
Don't believe a
will
word she
Don't
says.
worry, I think we've taken that lesson to heart at this point. You can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
we're just gonna approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror.
Or at least it'll be.
Wipe away the mirror.
Reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Okay, so the mirror's just gone. Take the
You
blade.
take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea.
That's just near the basement. We've already seen the cabin alter itself before.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
You can bite me anytime. I mean, what?
But you are. You're a wretched little thing. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
See? She knows us. Is this enough for you to believe what we've been saying?
Hey, yo. What?
Maybe, but you shouldn't let that cloud your judgment. She's just a princess. As long as you remember that and remain focused, slaying her will be easy. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
She does.
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
She's acting like she already knows you. I guess what you said back in the woods really was true. That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it.
The opportunist. It's such a condescending asshole. I fucking love him.
So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it.
Yep, she did that.
I won't waste time
face.
fighting you on something that's clearly true. You fought us on it back in the woods. That was when the only perspectives we had were yours and mine. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her.
No.
Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her, You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
I don't want to hurt you, but clearly there's some broken trust. Take this as a gesture of my goodwill. Give her the blade.
You can't be serious.
Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? I vote no.
As do I. I, abstain?
Hero.
Abstain. She's going to kill us if we give it to her.
This isn't a democracy. We're giving her the blade. Give her the blade.
You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? But of course you do. You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt floor, and the chains fall from the princess's wrist.
Fascism gasp.
She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little...
A woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now.
Luckily for us, you're not her.
Oh, we sure think alike, though. I can promise you that. Whatever you say next, you better make it count.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
That's up to you. That's why I gave you the blade. I chose last time and I regret it. So now it's your time to choose. Fastest. Fastest isn't where you're just fast like Sonic. You know what? We're gonna hit her with the Riz. We're gonna be the Rizzler here, chat. You are beautiful. I want to actually save you, and this feels like the only way to do it.
She pulls back, clearly caught off guard by whatever nonsense you just said to her. I thought it was nice.
Whether it's nice depends on if we meant it. We didn't mean it. Did we?
If you were lying, we'd all know. But unfortunately, you weren't lying.
What? What do you mean by that? What kind of game are you playing?
The look of surprise that momentarily softened her features vanishes as she steels her nerves. And then she buries the blade in your heart. What? No, come on, that's not right.
I told you this is what she was going to do.
Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it! I got you! You...
My charisma skill check failed. DM, can I re-roll that D20?
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern. Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark,
And you die.
and you die.
the thorn.
You're on a path in the woods. I can't believe she actually stabbed us. I told you not to give her the blade. I told you it would come around to bite us. I voted against it. Yeah, we know. You already got your I told you so's in while we were bleeding out. I just wanted to make sure that everyone here knows that I was and am on the right side of that argument. Oh, you're far from being on the right side of anything. You're fixated on the past, whereas what you should be is fixated
the
on
turbo
the
simp.
future. Ho ho, a visionary. I like it. Tell me more. Gladly, my dear fellow. By cruelly turning on the princess in her moment of vulnerability, we made ourselves an enemy. But by mastering our fear and insecurity and handing over our power, we've begun a journey to something so much deeper. I like journeys. Travelling is a bit of a passion of mine. It makes me so
The Rizzler.
relatable.
Yep.
Now, where are we off to?
What the Sigma? We summon the Rizzler? Oh god, speaking brain rot, I just feel my brain cells dying.
Well, if we're lucky, it's a journey.
He has
up.
Rizzlin.
She hates us. Does she? She hesitated before stabbing us to death. As ridiculous as this guy is, maybe he has a point. I don't know if I necessarily buy into his whole love journey thing, but maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change, so maybe she'll realise that things don't have to end in violence.
He has risen. Yeah, I don't understand this generation's memes. The brain rot. I have very few precious brain cells, and I feel them slowly dying. Now I just know how the generation after mine felt.
You know, maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try.
Fuck. Yeah.
Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right? It makes no difference if we conspire in the shadows or bear our intentions with open hearts. We are breaking your cruel cycle and whisking her away to freedom. Oh, are you now? Great, so you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least once. Sure.
Oh, twice.
Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's dangerous. So don't muck this up. It's bad enough that this isn't your first time through.
We're going to free her.
Please don't. You can't stop all of us, you villain. Let's just see how the wind blows. I'm not opposed to saving her, but let's not rule anything out just yet. Let's see what she has to say. Stop sitting on the fence and pick a side already. We don't need you waffling when things get hairy. I've already picked a side. Our side. I'm here to make sure that whatever happens, we wind up on top. Because that's worked out great so far. Well, we're not out of the game yet, are we? And again, I'll have you know, I wouldn't have gotten us killed last time. I wanted to stab her in the back, not hand over our precious backstabbing implement. Wonderful. If the woods themselves are changing, then that's all the more reason for you to take this seriously. It would mean your grip on things is slipping, which, in turn, likely means her influence is spreading. Someone's in the know. I've already said too much. The more information you have, the more difficult your task will be. Don't listen to her, definitely don't free her, and if you can, don't even think about her. You don't have to worry about me. My head's always empty. Except for thoughts of her.
Tier 3 sub smitten. We're just going to proceed to the cabin. That's where all our answers lie.
I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point. I don't know if I'd say everyone. You talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one, too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. The princess is a threat to you. She's a threat to me, and most importantly, she's a threat to the world. You know what you have to do.
Yes, we have to smooch the princess.
The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore. The burned-out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, a pristine... Wait, this isn't right. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it, can she? Well, it's not here, and if she has it... Let me guess, you want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work. If she does have it, that's all the more reason to put our faith in her. We have already shown her our heart. Now she has to show us hers.
Like, zoinks, man, these woods look hella haunted.
Unless her heart tells her to stab us, which doesn't seem unlikely, so yes, I agree. Let's make sure we get on her good side. You're right, the mirror is back. There isn't anywhere for us to go. But there isn't a mirror. I still don't get his angle here. Either way, I say we take a look. It feels like it's been forever since we've actually seen ourselves. For all we know, our feathers are all out of place, and that's why we haven't yet won her heart. We must put our best face forward. Yeah, we can't go around looking disheveled. A real go-getter takes care of his appearance. So, is the door to the basement behind the mirror? I promise you there isn't a mirror, and there isn't a door to the basement. The entrance is more of a burned-out frame than anything else, and it's right there on the far side of the room. Do you really not see it?
Approach the mirror.
You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent. You know what you have to do. Wipe away the grit from the mirror, and behold our handsome features. It went away when we touched it last time. You reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. You really thought there was a mirror there, didn't you? That can't be good. As if things weren't unpredictable enough. Alas, our fine features remain unseen. We'll just have to trust that she'll find us beautiful as we are. Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it? Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us.
Enter the basement.
You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you.
No.
Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease, at least on the way down. But you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after the world's been saved. These thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. She's calling out for help. Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? You betray me, I kill you, and you come back. You let me kill you, and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me. I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
Yeah, I'm here to laugh. What did you think would happen if you killed me? Did you think I wouldn't hold it against you? I'm not here to laugh. I'm here to free you if you'll let me.
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself?
You're not the only one who yearns for freedom. I'm as trapped as you are, and I think we need to leave together.
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Is there nothing I can say to change it right? Can I take the blade now? Can I take the blade now?
Her eyes briefly meet yours, then dart back to the floor. She hangs her head in resignation.
Okay.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms. She trusts us! She trusts us! Doesn't that set your heart aflutter? Yeah, a little. It could just be nerves. Being this close to her does bring back unpleasant memories, but I don't know, it doesn't feel bad. It feels good. Like we're special to her. We are special to have gained an ounce of trust from a maiden so guarded. Now all that remains is to free her from her bindings. Yeah, let's do it. Let's show her how much both of us have changed. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance. That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him. I see that the lines have been drawn. It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
Yes, what a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her? You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision. I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action.
Let's free this princess.
Narrator racism, yeah.
Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Let him join us and be merry. We are all united by our passion.
That's right. What he said. We've already given him a chance at redemption. And who says I don't deserve another? I really mean it this time. I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong. So I want to help you all free her.
And I have no problem with that. Welcome to the team. You're one of us now. One of the good guys.
You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do that, are you? Still, all it would take is a single slip of the blade.
Such a pathetic attempt at distraction and subterfuge.
Subterfuge.
Our blade is a dashing sword,
Our
and
blade
every
is a dashing
dashing sword is an extension of its hero. It won't slip.
It's a dagger, my guy.
You're right. He can't even make it slip, can he? He's a bit of a nobody. Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
Yep.
Do you see the way she's looking at us? Kiss her. Kiss her now before the moment ends.
Can we actually do that? No, you can't. Absolutely not.
You know as well as I do that we can.
And we wouldn't want to throw away a chance for a special moment, now would we? If I were only capable of throwing myself off a bridge.
Yes, we have pissed off the narrator.
Well, are you going to describe our steamy, romantic kiss?
You lean in and you kiss her. And she reciprocates enthusiastically. You kiss. It's done. Are you happy now?
He did it.
Come on now, this is the big moment. You can do better than that. Ugh, fine.
You and the princess lock eyes and stare deep into each other's souls with all the roaring emotion that comes from letting what once was hatred turn into pure, unbridled passion. Are you making fun of us? And then each of you close your eyes and kiss. Words can describe neither the nuclear fire nor the oceanic depth of your connection.
You had enough riz.
Please. I think he actually likes romance. If history itself were not about to end, historians would document this moment for the rest of time. Musicians would write era-defining ballads, and great artists would expend entire lifetimes trying to merely capture the spark you hold right now. He's making fun of us.
It doesn't matter either way because this is good stuff.
I'm aware of my skills. But unfortunately for you, the moment doesn't last forever. You open your eyes, the princess smiles gently up at you. Time for you to damn the whole world to oblivion, I suppose.
That was nice.
Her hand slips into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out.
Please, after all the trials we've been through, do you really think a few measly thorns can stop us? Love
Come
is
on,
an
Smitten,
even
give
more
us your power
powerful
now.
weapon than our blade.
We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
As you step into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this? Your nightmare is our dream. Whatever world would condemn star-crossed lovers like us to a cycle of violence and despair isn't a world worth saving.
I love this. Such a beautiful love story.
We'll weave something new together. Something better. You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?
No! You do not get a chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go?
Should we try and find
Should
her?
we try and find her? And there's that mirror again.
Why is it here? Why now?
Why now?
It's gonna be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get
But
scared.
it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
It is really sad.
Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right? If they think it's bad, I'm with them.
I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay.
If you say so, we'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it. Finally, we're going places.
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
The long quiet versus the short loud. How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one yearns for connection she feels she doesn't deserve. Even when shown compassion, she hid herself away. She will make for a cautious heart. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
You know what happens to the world we leave behind. And you figured out what you want when we finished.
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
Okay. How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
I think it was dark and you die.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're
That's
here
nice.
to slay her.
Silently continue to the cabin. We know
You
the
make
song
your
and
way up
dance.
the short path to the cabin.
Find the princess within, the hero will chime
But she will
in.
lie. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Go into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The blade is...
We're gonna enter the basement, we're not taking the blade.
The door to the basement creaks
Yeah, I think
open,
Luxon,
revealing a staircase
I think they
faintly
passed
illuminated
out.
by an unseen... Her voice softly
which is
carries up
good
the
if they were having
stairs.
insomnia. I hope they have a good sleep.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's
Yeah.
Don't let it fool you.
Here to
How many
save
times do I
you.
have to tell you how dangerous letting...
Wait, really? You're here? Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain. She's beautiful. I am begging you to...
Hi. I can't believe
We're
you're here.
going
I
to
hope
skip
you
through
brought
some of the
something to
dialogue
deal with
we've already
these chains.
seen.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those...
Try to get
Oh,
her
no,
out.
Thank you.
You're making a... No. You're doing... You walk up to... They're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe
No.
it's somewhere doubtful.
Yep. Going upstairs,
Okay.
we'll see if we can
I'll be
find
here.
it.
You attempt to make someone else...
Turn to the bottom of the
You make your
stairs.
way easier for who? Easier for everyone. Look at them.
I heard the door slam.
There's a slight panic.
If I could just get out of these
She
chains.
barely
Mhm.
hesitates
So
before
nom nom
raising
through
her.
her
She
arm.
rips her flesh from her bow. It's the blade.
We're gonna get the
or you could
blade.
use it. You won't
This
like
time we're
what-
gonna cut her free again. We're gonna save the princess.
Fine. Again, you cut into her. The blade is
She
sharp.
just removes
and
her
limb
arm.
falls. She didn't so much as utter a sound. No. She smiles soft. How is she?
Thank you.
Approach locked door.
We won't have any of.
He's
that.
gonna try to
As
make
the
a stab
princess
at her.
Wait. This. Watch me.
We're gonna warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you.
Your body lunges forward, but the princess does. Stop it. Stop trying.
Resist.
Blade. Move the... As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step
Here we
forward.
go, new stuff.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards
God, those
you
eyes
and
got
takes
bigger.
the blade from your infuriatingly rigid,
Rigid hands. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
I'll try
I'll
to be
try
quick.
quick.
Yeah, basically.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony.
But you aren't
You
dead
aren't
yet.
dead yet.
Because she's not a trained killer.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever.
That's fine.
She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
I love this. I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right?
Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer
Skill
for
issue,
things to have
yeah.
gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark,
And you die.
and you die.
The damsel.
You're on a path in the wood. You're here.
Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna proceed to the cabin.
A warning.
Before you go any
Before you move,
further.
she will lie.
If only you knew what you did to us, you villain.
And they're smitten.
Excuse me?
Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He's trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love.
Last time? What are you talking about?
I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do, but I also speak from the heart.
They're to be
My
stifled. They
passions
must
are
be
too great
expressed.
to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them.
He is
Some things are better
rizzling.
kept quiet.
He's rizzling and sizzling.
Don't pay their bickering any mind.
Focus on the
Oh.
task ahead. Okay, we'll proceed to the cabin. Now I want to see smitten on the cross.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay. Now I'm hungry.
You
Right,
walk
so
up to the
here.
wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror.
Fight the crime.
You
We'll be
reach
told we're
forward and
ridiculous
rub
for
your-
wiping
There was
the
a mirror
wall.
a second, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
We're gonna enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Okay.
A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning. Yes, for everyone's
going full
sake,
Rizzler
you're
mode.
not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the
Going
manipulation.
full Rizzler.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust
Just
and
a foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I
Oh,
was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Here's Gina. What's the Riz level? It's over 9,000.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. You've been here before, haven't you?
That's right, villain. And you
You
killed,
killed
us.
us.
Well, she killed us.
Yeah, I would feel physically ill after typing that too.
Made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
We damned a whole world.
But everything reset. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her? We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job. Rescue her? What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains. Good luck with that. Don't you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her out with ease. No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already? Because we've yet to present her with her freedom. I'm not sure I follow. Would you rather believe me, a passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature? Or would you rather believe the devil on your shoulder who tells you what you can and cannot do? I think I'd rather believe in facts. Ah, so you're one of those empiricists.
Empiricists?
One
That's
of
a
us
word.
has to be. Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator, we courageously step forward and free our beloved from her bindings. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I would if you had a weapon.
Oh, I accidentally skipped some dialogue.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths.
Titanic
and if
depths.
you try
It's a
anything
Riz.
that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed.
Oh, what is it on mouse and keyboard? That's what I'm currently using. Do you know the key binding for it? Well, hitting control zoomed everything. References. Make that visible in return. Yep. Auto. Okay, well, we'll turn off the quick menu. History. go up here. Go over what we went over. What, do you rather believe me, a passion-hearted god of love, and my own good nature, or would you rather believe the devil on your shoulder who tells you that you can and cannot do? I think I'd rather believe in facts, hero. I'm not sure I follow. Because we get to present her with her freedom. One of us has to be, and let me show you the brand new trick area with very easily. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step with the princess, you'll what? Take over my body and force us to try to kill her again? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? So you approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it, but I guess I have to. Told you there's no life more worth living than that of our true believer. I'm free, and you didn't try to kill me this time. Thank you so much. The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon. One slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back. Everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side? What do we do now? We leave and we have our whole lives ahead of us.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the
Southern
entire
plantation owner
world
bunny,
slipping
yeah.
through your fingers as they intertwine with hers.
We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
I like to think that you do, actually.
Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with.
You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this.
And what happens after we walk up the stairs?
Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks.
That's a familiar move.
Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her.
Keep going.
Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known.
Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
But I
I'm
want
just
to.
along for the ride at this point.
Okay, yeah, you've got this.
You place your hand on the door, and the lock clicks, and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
We override the narrator with the help of
I
Smitten.
knew it. Your words are no match for the pure strength of our hearts, bound together as one.
You and the princess make your way upstairs, and the blade. That's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late. You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you.
Yep.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside.
Our happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go?
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Goodbye. If you don't get a chance to make the jacket, nor will you ever, it's time for you to leave.
She's
Memory
gone.
cones.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't. Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know.
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. Find yourself in the long quiet once again. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what we'll find out there?
Is that a rhetorical question? Do you know? Do you want to tell me? You think we're real?
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
You have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one?
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. He does, and when I find him, you and I are finally going to have
Do
answers.
not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
Do you think anything is real out there? Do you think we're real? Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
How many more
One.
vessels do I need to bring back?
Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
If this is the last time, is there anything you would like me to bring you?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
I'm ready to go
The
back.
next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
It goes dark and you die. Hero and the princess.
You're on a path. You're here.
Yeah, we're just gonna go.
You make your way up the short a warning before she will lie. We're not going to go through. Ignore it.
Mm-hmm. See into the cabin.
The interior of the blade.
Mm-hmm. Take the
You
blade.
take the blade from the table.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp. Her voice carries.
Who's there?
She sounds... Don't let it fool you.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors.
She's so coldly... Focus on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I haven't
How
decided
about
yet.
you drop the knife, and the two of us...
Look how reasonable she's being. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. The blade tumbles out of your...
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, we'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Do you?
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so... dangerous? Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
Yep.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This
is
is
about
risk.
risk.
We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less. You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't...
Yeah, he is a pro-risk player.
well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's
She's suggesting, right?
right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall. They're large and heavy, far too solid for
If you
Okay.
don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it.
We've already done all
whoever locked
this.
the princess.
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be
We've already heard
nonchalant
that
about
dialogue
cutting. You attempted
too.
to- Is someone else here?
Yeah, we're gonna get locked
You
in
make
as
your way
usual.
back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you. Easier for who? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yeah, I
The
think so.
knife. Pick it up.
You won't like what.
Save the
Against
princess.
your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm.
We
just
cut her
above the
loose.
massive. You cut into her.
We've sat through
flesh.
this a
The
few
blade is
times
sharp, and you
already.
make quick work. She didn't so much as utter a sound. How is she so?
Thank you.
Approach locked door.
We won't have any of that.
Head through
As soon as
that.
the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body step. Wait, this isn't fair. You watch me.
Yeah, we gotta flee the
You
princess
bring the blade
now.
down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no going back now. Though the blade left a deep gash in her shoulder, she barely so much as flinches, turning around to stare at you incredulously.
Are you serious?
It's the only option we
I
have,
don't
lady.
know what came over you, but if we're doing this, I guess I'll have to kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that? I can beat you to death with one. But I don't have to tell you that. I'll go ahead and show you.
Actually, what happens if we give up?
As the blade falls from your trembling hands, the princess rears back, readying a bone-shattering haymaker. You fall to your knees, barely able to process the ringing in your ears before she hits you again. Every blow is as punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you. If we're lucky, the wound you manage to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she gets out.
Oh, too weak to even try fighting back. How disappointing.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form
Yeah.
could possibly possess. It can't just end like this, right? I'm sorry.
But it's over. It goes black and we die.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Think we get the adversary now? No, we get the tower.
You're on a
I was
path
hoping we got
in
the
woods,
adversary.
and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin,
There's a princess.
here to
To
slay
slay her. If you don't, it will be
If
the
you
end of the
don't-
world. She's going to kill me again.
people don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you.
I
unless
think I
you
fucked
let
up.
her.
I don't think we can
Slaying
get the
princess and
adversary
saving the
now.
world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Let's just proceed to the cabin.
A warning.
Before you go any further, she will lie, blah blah,
She
try to
will
trick
lie,
you.
She will cheat. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her And stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
Yeah, I think I had to fight instead of give up
I'm
too.
not being a pessimist. I'm just
Oh
being
well,
realistic.
we have a chance to get some cooler shit. Or
You're being
just as
annoying.
cool.
Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her?
Oh, so we
Given the
we
stakes
know
of
the type of
situation,
people you're
there's
into
really
now,
a
huh?
difference
My
between
mod's really showing their
rescuing
true
her and
colors.
pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
Okay, see you to the
If that's what you
cabin.
want. I guess I don't have a say here. The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small.
We are
We
small.
are small.
Take the blade. We're gonna approach the mirror.
Walk up to the wall next to... What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror.
Wipe the mirror clean.
Reach forward and rub your hand against... We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Oh, I'm not small. I'm huge. We're gonna take the
You
blade.
take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. Huh. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here,
Slaying is probably doing her a favor.
doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such
Charming
charming
and
audacity. Drop it.
The blade slips from your fingers and clatters uselessly to the floor. We didn't have to do that, and yet you did. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Okay.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson. You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay, first things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart. Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Well, let's go the ultimate simp route.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
Let's just feed her ego.
All you need to do now is break my chains.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say. No, you can't just give in to her, not when the stakes are so high, not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you, where it doesn't belong, trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about?
I don't care what you are. You're mine. Right. Rise, my little bird.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade. All you need to do is believe it's been done. Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
She's gone. But you do not take her arm, but you do not take her hand, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here?
Why now?
But it feels so bad. Like, I don't want to look at her. Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. A mercy.
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're going once again. The mirror always makes a little bit. You need to see what's in it. You are nothing at all. Welcome back. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze and then you see it, a figure faint and veiled in the shadow, just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
You know what I am.
Crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image into the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you. If you're not me, then what are you?
I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Others like you. You said something like that before. Has every narrator really been something that's been different?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Are you a part of me, or are you something else? You're the one that wanted me to slay the princess. Why?
As among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
What is the princess? Did you make her too?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. Seems that every me you met did a real shit job of it, though.
You want me to destroy the concept of transformation? How is that existence any better than death, or even different from death at all? Honestly, it feels
When I
worse.
broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
You're delusional. What would it be like to live in a world without her?
Burdenless. An eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of rediscovery. Everyone will be with the ones they love. No more fear. No more howling chaos. Just life. Forever.
That sounds
There's a
awful.
cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the world was to never be able to see it for myself.
Every time I ask you something, you're like, are you part of me? Or why couldn't you have told me all of this from the start? I would have helped you destroy her. If she's capable of becoming whatever people believe her to be, can't I just will her into something small? So you do know about the looping. So many times I met you and you denied. Why did you lie to me?
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. And for all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
What if neither of us leave this place? Does that work? Can we just stay here together and leave the people out there alone?
Won't work. Her nature as the shifting mound makes it so nothing can last forever as it is now. It wouldn't matter how long the two of you waited. Eventually she would find a way to leave. And then everything would change. Everything would face oblivion. And until then, the clock ticks on.
I'm pretty sure death is good, actually
If
important
that's your
even.
belief, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you can't grasp the abject horror of dying.
And what is my I've died many times. And what is my
You're
true
the long
identity?
quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death. So I am. It's like I said, I'm just an echo.
You're
And
out of time,
echoes
friend.
always fade away. You know what you have to do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. As the final fragment glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The narrator was right. You are the long, quiet, a vast, and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. Wake up. All of this is you. See to the cabin one last time. When you arrive, the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find. Oh. Hello there.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Names are there.
I'm the long quiet, and I don't know what that means.
Captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Every word you spoke found its way to me.
I know him,
and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it?
Means you're long and quiet. Kinky?
When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation? My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach. And you cannot rationalize that which defies logic.
Okay. I still want to talk things out.
But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
Okay. Oh.
You are nothing. A black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. A dog blind to its leash. But there is no light without the dark.
Okay.
When I proclaimed my godhood and offered you a place at my side, you gladly became the instrument of my new creation. Only with both of us is there a future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into being.
You speak about life and death and change and stagnation, but that isn't what any of this has been about.
Oh, is it not? Perhaps you can enlighten me.
Oh.
Your lover drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you. Forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was nothing that could hold us back.
This has always just been about us. Two people forced to hurt each other again and again and again, but we don't have to hurt each other anymore.
You cling to your notion of pain as suffering. There is beauty in ugliness, and love in conflict.
Oh.
Thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul. and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both, but compassion is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change.
There can be love and conflict and beauty and ugliness between us without bringing the whole of reality into the picture.
We are the whole of reality. To question everything is to deny the truth in front of you. To live alone within the caverns of your mind is to trap yourself in them forever. But you found me, and we chose to trust each other for no reason than the sake of believing in something that wasn't us. Shared skepticism blossomed into freedom, but we needed to walk a path together to bloom. Would you stop our journey now that you've seen its beginning? What of those in the worlds beyond? Would you erase their paths to stop them from going astray?
Continue to appeal to your shared humanity. We're not the whole of reality. Why won't you see me the way I still see you? Why won't you see me for what I am?
I could ask you the same. There is only room for one of us to be blind here, and I know it to be you. We are each other's mirrors, and are we not divine?
As a clash between you abates, you begin to shake your will. You begin to shake, your will rapidly dissolving.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
I was told there was enough of you in me to perceive meaning in existing. I'm going to trust that's true. I have to fight for a better world. I'm so sorry, Princess. You are cruelty itself, and I cannot let you do this. I don't know what the answer is, but there has to be something else. It can't be this. I don't know what the answer is, but there has to be something else. It can't be this. I won't kill you, but I won't let you free. You've done everything you can to make me understand your perspective, but you keep dismissing mine. If you think you can change me, then I must be able to change you.
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
Hero? Which hero are you? Where's everyone else?
It's good to be here.
It's good to be
She's
here.
too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
I'm
Then
ready.
Let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things? That'd be nice. A little comfort in an almost unfamiliar place. Oh, you made it here too? We never really got to talk to her, did we? This one, I mean. Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah, for one more time.
The interior of the cabin is, well, it's not really a cabin, is it? It's that terrifying blend of everything. Only it doesn't feel so terrifying anymore. It's still shaped like a cabin, it's just different in places. There's still walls, a door to the
Contrarian's
basement,
back.
a table, that knife. Windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really included the windows in his cabin descriptions, did he? He mentioned the windows when we broke them. No mirror this time, either. I think it did whatever it needed to do. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade.
I don't
No
think
blade
things are
it
going to
is.
go...
I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it, but your judgment has gotten us this far.
Yeah, no blade.
If that's what you think is best, then that's what you think is best. I'm just along for the ride at this point. Those winding stairs again. But now there's only one way forward. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Yep.
Yeah, it was a real mess. Stopped being fun pretty quick.
It's okay. You can come down. The stairs won't bite. Not this time. We don't know what you want from us, but let's talk. All of us. Maybe we can help you find your way.
She doesn't sound messy anymore, though. At least somebody here feels put together. And forward we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
No, we shouldn't.
That was easy compared to last time. Just stairs. No weird fuzzy stuff or nonsense trying to pull us apart. Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
So you didn't bring the knife. After all the lives we've lived together, and all the lives we haven't, you somehow found a way to move outside of the script.
Okay, that's nice, Mickey Roos.
Are we missing a page?
Sit them. I never got a chance to talk to you.
It's okay. No hard feelings. In a way, you helped us become a version of her, but we weren't very good at it. I don't think a conversation with us then would have been very insightful. That's probably why we were taken away. That's all we had to offer you. It was time to change again.
After all we did, she's just forgiving us. Just like that. You know, that means a lot.
None of this was ever really fair for either of us, was it?
Is it unfair if it's our fault?
Was it not? We found you at the end of all things, and you found us. Is that not fair? Would this moment be what it is without the pain that built to it? We know we must sound like her, but it's how we feel. Everything that happened to us seems so important now. We walked a long and winding path together, and we've cherished every second of it.
Besides, I don't think fairness has much to do with anything.
So now that we're here at the end of everything, can you tell me your name? What if we just leave?
He'd hate that. So you should do it. Even if he isn't here anymore, it's the spirit of the thing.
Leave? But what would happen if we left with you? Would we exist inside ourselves? Are you sure you want to find out if that's possible, or what that would mean for you? Is that what you want?
Take their hand in yours. I've always wanted to leave with you, but I don't like being a god. I want to walk through that cabin door as we are. Just you and me.
After so many iterations, so many different versions of us clashing and coming together and clashing again, leaving with you feels like all we ever really wanted.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
Aw, hero.
I think we've done our job.
Contrarian.
Don't mention it. Thanks for making all the hard choices along the way.
Leave with the princess. You lead and the princess follows, and together you leave the basement behind for the last time. It's quiet as you ascend in comfortable silence, filling the space that used to be flooded with violence and words and noisy thoughts. But there is an energy in the silence, electricity, the anticipation of the unknown. At the top of the stairs, the princess stalls, eyes fixed on the cabin door. You can see the tension seize them. They're unsure of themselves for the first time in a long time. For the first time in their long and short existence. You have no part to play anymore, and they know this, yet they still are. And then they cross the room to the door outside. You follow their confident steps.
We can feel the threads of all the stories we've told together, all pulling us back down the stairs and into those chains where we know the outcome of everything that could ever come to pass. It's comfortable there, but it's confining. We want more. We want whatever might be on the other side of this door. Something new that we'll experience together, with someone who exists outside of us. With someone who can see us in a way we can never see ourselves.
Aww.
And we love you too.
There we go. We got to the end of the game. We got a good ending. I think it was a very cute, sweet, and sad ending. So, with that done, that is the stream schedule for this week. Unless I decide to pop up with a random stream sometime on Sunday, I will see how I feel and what we got. I'm only missing a few achievements from this game, but I had that ending too. Thank you so much for playing. As an expression of our gratitude, here's the track order for the special playlist just for you. If you'd like to take a screenshot, you can hide the UI by hitting H. Yep, we've completed the objective list. Turn to the main menu. Thank you all for coming out to the Play Your Princess stream. We did it in one setting. The ISP didn't fuck us. Anyways, I appreciate you all coming out. There might be something Sunday, there might not. So, if I don't see you next Sunday, I'll see you on Monday. Peace.